and what was on my mind on what is actually happening around us. Well, we get disruption everywhere. So the whole problem was what actually is disruption and has it happened in other areas, and what are the lessons we can all learn from. So last year I saw this data and it was quite alarming, looking at the exponential growth of solar. And if you see the curve, it is not straight, it's exponential. The same day I saw this, the prices were coming down exponentially. So it's not changing. In the event of disruption, what happens to the So I needed to understand what disruption is, and that is what this presentation is about, and the lessons we can learn. But the question you always ask is, this keeps happening, but the companies keep doing the same things over and over again. So I looked around looking for a theory that would help us understand what is happening. Why do leading companies fail in the event of disruption? As we see throughout this presentation. So these are the objectives of this, like I said. So the first thing we need to understand is what is disruption in a business sense? Because we hear it all around us. But disruption in the business sense is when a smaller company is with little resources is able to successfully challenge an established business. So that is what would be our criteria today. That an established business is taken over by a company with fewer resources. So my search, and I got to know this theory, and this is by Clayton Christensen, and he's noted as the most influential business thinker of our time. He's a Harvard professor, Harvard educated, with 40 years research in this matter. And this is what he found, and that is why we understand the impact on leading business anytime disruption occurs. So you can see, normally, companies would enter into the market through here. Like before any product comes, they come and they start building up its customers. So we need to understand disruption in the face of a process, not an event. And mostly that is the mistake we do when we look at disruption as an event. So the product starts here and it moves up by improvement. So as it improves, what it does is that it becomes more attractive to the high-end customer. What am I saying? Let's look at our smartphone. When it came 10 years ago, it was here. Today it has improved, and we have iPhone 8 and iPhone 10 with very high specs. But when the first iPhone came, it had not the high specs. So what it becomes is that you keep improving the product, it becomes more expensive, and only few people can buy it. At that same time, the disruptor sees an advantage in there. So he starts at the bottom of the curve. So it comes with a product usually not as good as the existing product. So for instance, I can come with a product, maybe a watch, which is not as good as the iPhone. But in the beginning, people will complain with its limitations. But with time, you see an improvement. Then, so what happens is that when the product comes, the main customers of the incumbent does not want it. It's just like, let's say, ECG. When solar came, what you see is that your main customers don't want it because of this limitation. You can only use it for 6 hours and a whole lot. But what happens is that, like I said, it's not an event, but a process. But they keep improving. So you see an improvement until your main customers now see that this is where to go, and they start moving. And we saw the data, they move in drones, and we'll see later in some examples that happens. So the whole point is, there are two sides of this. The main incumbent does not see any dip in his business performance. So if a disruptor enters the market, going into your financial, will you not see anything? Because it's not affecting your sales. It is only a matter of time by which your main customers now become attracted to what the disruptor is offering. And that's where you see a massive swarm of them moving, by which they might be doing. So it's just like the David and Goliath king. Goliath king is better and better. But all that they need is just a hole to enter. Once that is done, you are finished, irrespective of the height and all the protection you have. So that is the case. Let's look at an example that we found. For instance, in the steel industry in the world, there is a different category of steel. As in here, they are used to angle irons and rebars. And the angle iron and the rebars, you don't need any specs. But the angle iron, you need better specs. The structural steel is a high fine product, and the sheet steel is the best, which they use for cars and all that. So what happened was, there was a technology that was used in producing all this, which was used kindly used by the integrated steel. So what happens is that there was a new technology called mini mills. They had a cheaper way of producing steel, but they did not attack at the sheet steel end. They just decided to do rebars. After all that you need to do with a rebar that has no specs, you put it in concrete and just bury it. So you'll be done. So they attacked from there. But with time they kept improving. And as they kept improving, they attacked the angle iron industry. They attacked the structural steel. In all of this, your question you're asking is what were the integrated steel people doing? They were happy because this place is the least profitable with 7%. It moves, the higher you go, is like the better profit you make. And that's what businesses are doing. So they are happy to leave the less profitable areas to people to cramp on it. And what we forget is that it is a process, not an event. So they keep coming. Then currently in the world, 70% of the steel is produced by the mini mill instead of the integrated. And the funny thing is, none of the integrated steel companies have done this technology. And they've all, in one way or the other, been disrupted. But we'll get to understand why this is happening. If you see clearly how the disruptor enters, it is always at the blind spot of the main incumbent because it does not make sense to your main customer. And we get to understand the principle. Which way? So characteristically, the disruptive technology is usually, they come with a different value proposition than the main incumbent. They generally underperform the mainstream customers, and they are usually convenient. Like I said, it's just like our solar. It comes with a different value proposition. We are used to generating, transmission, and distribution. But with solar, you sell the rate and you get it there. It changes the entire business proposition in which we are competing. So it changes the entire market, that's what disruptive is. But we need to distinguish between sustaining technologies and disruptive technologies. Not all technologies are disruptive. If you enhance, they are enhancing technology, and that's what we call sustaining technology. If I have a phone and I improve on the phone, it's still a phone. I mean, this is the same performance that we are competing on, and you improve it, and it's the same technology that you are using. Like the bank. Internet banking is an enhancing technology. It's the same banking just done on the internet. So we'll see in our local market what happens with MTN. So, like I said, MTN, for instance, saw an opportunity in the market. What was that? The banks have shifted to the main, like the high end, as I said. That's what we always say. Banks make more money when they have clients like ECG and a big company. Individual accounts take too much cost. And you can just broker one deal between ECG and maybe getting interest. Having the interest and make money. So they were okay and comfortable with having bigger clients and making more money. The more MTN realized that there were offshoots, the people down there were not catered for. So what they decided to build a product that the people down there would be okay with. And what happened? And this is what is happening in the banking industry. You see, the red is MTN. There is an orange here, which is the total microfinance. And there's a green here for rural banks. And also there's the non-financial institutions, savings and loans. And these are the banks. You wonder why banks are still not investing in MTN mobile money. The truth is, they do not see it in their financials. It is not happening. If you look at any bank's spreadsheets now, you will not see the impact of mobile money in their financials. Because they are the low end, these are where the banks are. They are making 42 billion. MTN is making just 2 billion in float. So they do not see it. And most importantly, your customers like ECG and the big brokers don't need it. You don't need mobile money for anything. Because what we need mobile money for as a company, what we need to do with their banks, mobile money cannot do. So they did not see it as a threat. But what happened? We see an increase in customer numbers. Comparative analysis. This is between bank checks, interbank checks, and mobile money transaction value. Mobile money started somewhere in 2009. You see an astronomical exponential growth with mobile money value. Even with interoperability, just last quarter, the value of the whole SCN value in terms of transactions superseded that of the entire bank checks that was traded. So even to date, even though it is happening, they still do not see it in their financial, like I said, because their main customers still do not want it. It's only a matter of time. But MTN is being innovative and adding more products. Today they are doing insurance. It came first as if they were just sending money back and forth. Today they are doing insurance, they are doing soft loans. So they are tapping the market, like I said, small. With time, it's only a matter of time that they will catch up. We've seen it over and over with IBM and mini computers. IBM had mini computers they came to disrupt the leading companies. And the same process, the same product and the film industry. The funny thing is, sometimes it was even the incumbent that brought about the technology, like Kodak. Kodak brought about digital printing. And when they tested it in their market, their customers did not want it. And nobody has a product for its customers. But we learned the lessons that these people make so as we can also have in life. Toyota did same to American motors. When they went into the American market, they occupied the low end. Chevys were doing bigger cars. By the time they realized Toyota had improved and now it's doing Camry, it's doing Lexus competing in the high end. And it's happening over and over again. The almighty Nokia. We saw Nokia after 2007 was noted as the best business in the world and nobody could beat them. But look at their numbers. It was never affected until 2012. Right? And look at the astronomical increase with sales of smartphones. So what it tells you is that it's not as if you will see it in your numbers, but like I always say with ECG, we are not going to see the astronomical numbers of fleet of customers from solar. They would take time, when they all agree, like when they see the improvement in solar and with cost, all that you see is a swamp, and that is where it will be at your mind side. So the question is, why are leading companies failing? In all of this, you ask yourself, why are they sitting there and just as if these companies are moving about them? And mostly what is said is that because they became complacent. No. But if you look at the history, when it was about a technology that sustained their current product, they always beat the disruptors, like banking. When internet banking came, you never saw any disruptor in internet banking. Because it is an improvement of their product, their customers want it. But always it is when it is disruptive, which means their customers do not want it, it's a different value proposition. They cannot wrap their mind around the business model of this disruptor. So the first principle we need to understand, because if you understand the principles of life, we will not go against them. Like the people who felt they could fly by attaching wings to themselves, they only feel down. And when people understood the principle of gravity and the concept, the Bernoulli principle and the concept of life, they got it better. So that's what we need to know. That there are principles that work against established business. And if you understand the principle, you will be able to fight against it. The first principle is to understand that every business relies on its investors and customers. Because it is what your customer wants and what your investor wants. You cannot do something that your customer does not want. So it is more of business asking the head of an established business to do something the customer currently does not want. Or the investors do not want, but the investors want money now, not in the future. So we need to understand this principle. The second is that small markets do not solve the growth needs of large companies. What am I saying? If you are a $1 billion company like ECG, you need 10%, 100 million to grow. So if somebody brings you a market which is about, let's say, $100,000, it's like a fish, a small fish in a big ocean. Why would you chase that 100,000? But it's because these are small markets in the beginning, and they see them as not the way forward. And the third point we need to understand is markets that do not exist cannot be analyzed. We are used to analysis, but there's no data about the future. You cannot have data on the future. Something that has never come. For instance, we'll see a funny thing that happened with AT&T and the mobile phones. They consulted McKinsey. I'm sure very soon we consulted very big firms to do analysis for the future. They consulted McKinsey to predict in 1985 what would be the number of people who use mobile phones in 15 years. That's in year 2000. And that was their prediction. 900,000. And we don't know what happened. 109 million. This McKinsey, the world's best strategy firm. So it is, this market, there's no data about the future. Customers do not know. If you show a mobile phone to a customer who has always seen online, he doesn't see the need of it today. So that is what we need to understand. And the fourth is that every organization has different inherent capabilities. If you have two people that you employ in different companies with the same skills, you'll keep out different outputs. Because inherently in that company, there are limiting factors. We need to understand that. And the final thing is we know that sometimes technology will exceed what the market wants. We keep on improving, but we've forgotten that the customer is not ready to pay for this. And this is best explained by value networks and the cost structure, which there are different value networks with which businesses operate. And the value network that makes MTN competitive is not the same value network that makes banks competitive. Because MTN government is using agents, is using different formula. Banks are using buildings to expand. So that is what we need to understand. And also there's a technology escape. Well, we should know that technology moves, it starts at a slow pace, it jumps, and it fluctuates. But when the disruptors, they do not come into your market to compete. They compete with a different product attribute. When they better their attribute, they move to yours. It's just like solar. What they will do is that they will use the rural areas to better their products. Once it is established and they know what to do, they'll just move into the main market. And you can see the astronomical numbers when you look at the numbers with solar grids, mini grids last year. Over about 12 million mini grids were installed last year around the world. And you can see the solar getting it right. So this is what we've seen in ECG and solar. Like I said, they start from a particular point, started in 1989. After it was just basic rural lighting. They came with lamps and they were sharing them, and we felt this was the scenario. And they continued with different proposals just to ensure that they get a value network in their market. We have seen solar discussions, some places in Africa where companies are actually being paid as we go. Solar, one company being a subsidiary invested by EDF. Is one of the such in Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, and Tanzania. They actually sell it as we go. So the lesson is that with all these, it would not other work if you have just a section, because as a company, you will not get the resources to push for such a place if it's under you. But you need to set up an autonomous company. And I was not surprised when PPS was set up, and restructure was set up, when they started looking for ways to make money. The first thing is to talk about solar. But if ECG had continued, you'll be surprised that we would never have thought of solar. It's not because it's the nature and the principle of how markets work. Because we're a 1 billion company. Why would you be section a 10,000 industry that's not yet developed? When you can make a 10% growth every year without doing anything. But when restructure was set up, you see clearly they started looking for, and it was attractive to them because they are smaller. You need small things to grow. So that is what you do. You set up an autonomous organization. Then what you do is that you give it the opportunity to commercialize this new product. And you can see clearly the companies that do it this way won. Those that do the other way lost. And it's clear. We are used to strategic planning. So every quarter you come to corporate planning, you mark what have you done and it's not. But in the structure, that will not work. Because you don't have that time to wait for 3 months and know that what is happening in the market happening, because it's a process. So we move rapidly. So what you do is discovery-based planning. In this case, you go to the market knowing that you could be wrong. So you do quick successive changes. So you don't plan and go to the market thinking you are right, because the market will change by the time you announce it is done. Then the last but one thing is we should discover tools that will help the company make sure that they allocate resources properly. Then the other thing is to know how customers are using things. You need to measure how they are using it. Because even those that got the work, they do not know the extent to which it will be used. But you motivate, you look at your mainstream customers and how they are behaving so as to know what is happening. So what I'm saying in conclusion is that let us harness the principles of disruptive innovation. Let us not fight it, because that is the only way to win in the market.
Thank you very much, Minister Kwesi. I've heard people say that we should not begin taking engineering as a first degree, and after all, we can get to whatever